Yep. And remember, we have box lunches now. We don't have any. Oh,
She's mad as dessert. He's gonna kill Hazel. He's chicken breast.
Is Sun Lake also doing work in Whitehouse? They are
Are
digging
they?
and stuff, right?
I don't know about digging. I know they've been doing overlashing.
wow.
That's what I thought.
They're not giving up that easy.
Oh, yeah. 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 Still waiting on my check.
Are you really?
Yeah. $455, that's a lot of steaks. Anyway, hey, I got sewer service though.
That's a bonus.
We handled the part we can handle.
City came through, man, I tell you what.
Councilman Lowe, do you want to do the prayer?
Be glad to.
George, you turn me down again?
Negative, sir. That's negative, Ghost Rider.
You're wearing a good outfit for it too. It's been nice. Let's get ready to govern. 10 seconds.
Let's govern quickly tonight, guys. Let's really put together, okay? Let's get in and out of here.
You want to get like a focused
Yeah.
governance?
I want everybody to be the opposite of loquacious.
Let's get it done.
Thank you.
I'll now call to order this meeting of the City of Whitehouse Council for today, April the 23rd. It is 6 p.m. Ms. Hargis, will you please call the roll?
Yes, sir. James Wansley.
Here.
Zach Briscoe.
Here.
Georgia Harris.
Here.
John Chambers.
Here.
Michael Lowe.
Here.
And Heath Rosenstein. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Will you please stand if you're able and join Councilman Lowe as he leads us in a word of prayer.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day today. We thank you for our city that we're so proud of. Thank you for all the volunteers in the city that give back so much. Without them, we have nothing. Thank you for the beautiful rain. Thank you because to me, rain equals life. Thank you for the first responders. Thank you for us to make the best decisions that we can for our city. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. All right, that is a solid group tonight. I think we can cut that recording and sell it. That brings us on to item D, presentations. We have a proclamation to read tonight. I should have had that ready. So if you'll bear with me, I will read this proclamation. Whereas the decision to pursue post-secondary education and training after high school graduation can play a vital role in the future success of our young people. And whereas students whose post-secondary plans include a 4-year university, community college, trade school, industry-based certification, or the military can improve their lifetime earning potential. And whereas the Tyler Area Business Education Council, Whitehouse Independent School District, business partners, and higher education partners in Smith County are committed to recognizing and celebrating graduating seniors for their plans after high school and encourage younger students to prepare early for college. And whereas our young citizens are our strongest asset for the future of Whitehouse and will drive economic growth, innovation, and stability for the residents of Whitehouse. Now, therefore, I, James Wansley, Mayor of the City of Whitehouse, Texas, do hereby proclaim Friday, April the 28th, 2023 to be Whitehouse ISD Decision Day in the City of Whitehouse. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Whitehouse to be affixed on this 25th day, April 2023. Thank you. And we will be awarding that and reading it again at the school a little bit later this week, and congratulating those kids that have prepared themselves for a future. Good. All right, that takes us on to community interest. All right, here we go. We have a few items. Mrs. Black, please.
Mayor and council, the farmer's market continues every Saturday from 9 to noon, down at 109 East Main. I heard from TxDOT today that the contractor that will be doing the sidewalk improvements on Highway 110 from 346 to Acre should be on site in the next week or two. They're finishing up their projects in Longview and should be moving here.
Wow.
It's very exciting.
Yes.
You'll hear a little bit later about the Youth Community Council Spring Fair planned for May 6th. And then just as a reminder, we plan to do our fire engine push-in on May 6th as well. So I'm very excited that it is entering the final phase of getting everything installed on that. So.
Excellent. All right, anything from council to add on the matter of community interest?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I will be wearing my old fire department helmet for the fire engine push-in. Also, we had the ministerial alliance.
Ministerial office.
And this past weekend, and we had a little prayer. All denominations came, praying for the city. The chamber has a new office, which is a big deal. I'm really proud of them and proud for the city. And also, I'm gonna give this to the police department and fire department. This is a crisis response ministry that they help crisis victims, like in a storm and everything, give counseling. So I'll make sure you got that. You never know when somebody may need it. That's all I got, sir.
All right, anything else from council? All right, that takes us down to item F, public forum. We had 2 people sign up for public forum today, so I'll just get through this right quick. Pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.007, members of the public may speak on an agenda item during the public forum section of the meeting at the time the agenda item is called for discussion by the mayor. Speakers shall be given 3 minutes to speak. A speaker needing a translator or interpreter may be given 6 minutes to speak. Criticism of any city employee's staff is prohibited. Those wishing to address the council regarding an item not on the agenda must be a citizen, property owner, or business owner in Whitehouse. Comments on such non-agenda items shall be limited to 3 minutes. The council will not comment on these items not on the agenda. However, the council may refer the item to city staff for research, resolution, or referral of the matter to city council for a future agenda item. 2 people sign up for this section. The first person to sign up was Mr. Jim Nitt. You please approach the podium and state your name and address for the record, please, sir.
Jim Nipp, 1811 Trace Drive. No street sign, but if you're the pizza delivery guy, you know what it is. Hey, we lived in the greater Whitehouse area for about 16 years. We lived on the lake until last July. We sold that house and moved into town. So I've been a consumer of the services of the city of Whitehouse for a long time. Just got in the game last July, and I come to as many of these meetings as possible. And I know that people sign up to speak and exchanges happen. But what I never hear is what I really want to say is thank you. Thank you for this experience since July. I signed up on 3 topics. First was the police, the response that we have from the police. I've got more cameras on my house than a federal prison. And the only time they go off from about 9:30 at night till about 5 in the morning is the police car that makes its rounds every night in my neighborhood. And it's been that way since we were the first house on the street. And now that there's a whole neighborhood full of houses around us, I love that. And I appreciate it. I appreciate the attention that our neighborhood gets, and I don't think that it's uncommon. Second thing I wanted to talk about was the trash service. Look, we played for private trash service, and we ran the gamut. We've used all the services out on the lake. But since we've moved here, same cameras catch the same kind of engagement that we get from the police department. Look, if the trash truck dumps the trash and some trash falls out, the guy jumps out of the truck, runs around, grabs the trash, and throws it back in the truck. They're always on time, and if they're not, it's always well communicated from the city when it's gonna be. So I know that's oft overlooked, but man, I'm grateful for the service that we get inside the city for trash. And the third is fiber, since I've only had 3 minutes and probably bumping up against that. Look, while I don't have fiber yet at my house, I appreciate the speed at which, from the first conversation about fiber till the first customers getting fiber inside the city, is amazing. And I have friends in Lindale and Bullard and Tyler and all over, and they are blown away by how fast that you guys talked about it, then how fast it happened, and how fast fiber's actually being hooked up. I sent text messages before I got here today, like, can you believe they're already hooking up houses? So I appreciate all that you guys do, the water department, the city services, I think that we take for granted and really only get pointed out when there's a problem, are over the top in comparison to any of the other local communities, certainly more than they were on the lake. So thank you all. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Knipp. Bribery in action going on.
money, boy. Which one are you?
All right, and the next person up to speak is Mr. Gene Keenan. Top that, Mr. Keenan.
I can't top Jim Knipp, sure. Honorable Mayor, Council, and staff, I'm Gene Keenan. I'm here this evening to present our annual donation for our first responders. We alternate every year, $500 for police 1 year, fire the next year. Public Services just believes in having a good and happy first responder group. And I think you have that in Whitehouse. And this $500 is for non-budgeted items. It's for them to spend on whatever they want to spend it on. So it's not really earmarked for anything other than that. And whether it's challenge points or whatever, tickets to the Rangers game. But that won't get them to like 2 right now. But
About right.
Later in the season.
Yeah, maybe if they have a losing year. But anyway, it's our honor to present this every year, and we just want to give this to the Secretary.
Excellent.
Thank
Thank you so much. All right. Man, that's a great way to start a meeting. I wish they all started that way. Thank you so much for your input on the public forum section. Sad to say, we're going to move on to the consent agenda. So we're on to item G. There's 2 items on the consent agenda for your consideration. If there's nothing in either of those items that you wish to discuss as a part of the actual meeting, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
Motion from Councilman Briscoe, second from Councilwoman Harris. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. All right, with that, the motion and the consent agenda passes. So that takes us to item H, other action items, ordinances, resolutions, public hearings. Number 1 is a public hearing, discussion, consideration, and act upon a rezoning request for a 69.00033 plus minus acre tract of land located in the 1500 block of East Main Street in the part of the J.M. Draper Survey A-290 and the J. Heron Survey A-429, Smith County, Texas, from residential medium density / plan development, RMPD, to residential medium density / plan development, RMPD, to amend the lot layout. Request of Canaan Land Development. All right, are you leading this one, Ms. Hargis?
Yes, sir, I am.
Take it away, please.
All right, thank you for reading that very awkwardly worded agenda item, but because this is a request for a modification to a plan development, it does have to go back completely through the entire plan development process, so that's the reason for that wording. So before you tonight is a request of Canaan Land Development to modify the lot layout of the plan development that was approved by you all last April. It was then known as Hamilton Meadows, but is now known as Park Meadows and the Villas on Main. The request will increase the lots by a net of 2. The middle section of the development will lose 2 of the larger lots, but the eastern section will gain 4 small lots. This is the only change, and the remaining ordinance does stay the same. The requested change does seem to be logical to staff, and we have no objections. I did receive 3 inquiries from the notices that were mailed out and posted, but all were just for information, and none gave a for or against opinion. Tonight is the second public hearing as required, as P&Z held the first public hearing last week, and they did unanimously recommend approval. Staff is seeking your action tonight, and we do need to open a public hearing to fulfill the requirements. Mr. Conaway is here tonight to help answer any questions that you may have after that public hearing.
All right. Well, if there's nothing at this point, I'll go ahead and send us into the public hearing. The time is now 6:13, and we will, city council meeting on hold and enter the public hearing. We're now in the public hearing.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Conaway, would you like to join us up here, please? So
Yes.
could you please describe your role in this project, sir?
Yes, first of all, my name is Brett Conaway, I represent Caneland Development. Whenever we were looking at the final plat with the engineers that they were gonna send to the city, we realized we had, on the left, we had kind of an HO area that was kind of blocked, and we thought it would be better to pull that forward and put it on this Birchwood Trail there to the south. So that's what initiated this change. Whenever we called about it, they said we had to go through the whole planning and zoning and city council, so I appreciate you guys taking the time to consider this, but we just thought it was a better layout having that HOA on the corner there, that green belt on the corner, instead of kind of stuck in between two houses.
And some decorative features added, looks like brick columns.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. All right, does anybody have any questions for Mr. Conaway?
I do not.
Thank you, sir, appreciate you. Is there anybody else that would like the opportunity to speak during this public hearing? All right. Anything to add from council? With that, we will close the public hearing. The time is 6:14. Public hearing is closed, and we will reconvene into regular session. All right, council, any further discussion on this item?
I'll make a motion to approve the rezoning request for this that's right in front of us.
All right, I have a motion from Councilwoman Harris and a second from Councilman Chambers. Any further discussion? Does this need to be a roll call, or can it just be open?
It can be open.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. All right, with that, the motion carries. Takes us down to item H2, discuss, consider, and act upon approving projects for the Youth Community Council Spring Fair, Blackhawk Creek Hike and Bike Trail Workday, and other expenses. Mrs. Black.
Mayor and Council, the members of the Youth Community Council are here tonight to present some updates on some of their projects and some expenses related to those projects for your review and approval.
All right, those members, please join us here at the podium. State your name, address for the record.
Excellent, great. Okay, and the Youth Community Council, I am the LCC Secretary. I'm the Mayor, I don't know.
I'm George Bush, Mayor Pro Tem.
All right.
Alright, so we are going to discuss our 3 projects that we've been working on this year. First one is our Veterans Memorial.
So with the Veterans Memorial, this is very exciting. Today, the concrete curving has been done.
What?
But there were a lot of scheduling issues and whatnot. But we'll show you all in the next slide after this. It looks very nice. And we plan to have a work day to lay the bricks for the memorial. This includes, we have, I think so far about, 30 bricks that have been like purchased and engraved, I think. And so we'll be laying that, and the rest of them will be plain bricks. And we're gonna try to wait, so we get as many bricks as we can in, and we'll lay it and probably not come back to it. But we'll have that day on tentatively May 13th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And we're gonna work with trying to get some people who are experienced in masonry to come out and help us.
Excellent.
And then permanent lighting is still in the works, and along with David Moran's Scout project, and we'll be helping them with that a bit, but it's mostly out of our hands once we finish it this semester. But his project includes raising some flags and a new plaque. And then on May 27th, we're gonna have another Memorial Day ceremony. That might be our last. And we'll invite the community to come out to see the memorial bricks, and part of it will be kind of celebrating the memorial is kind of finished, at least with YCC's part, and also of course celebrating our veterans, because that's the main point of it. But it'll also be an opportunity where our donors can really see what they put their money towards, because we'll be sending out communications about that to them, but so they can see it's all finished, and it'll be a good day.
Excellent.
Alright, next is our spring fair. We hope to have this on May 6th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So far, we've had a bunch of high school organizations say that they're going to participate and have booths along with activities for them. We'll have Kona Ice, UT Health, and Starbright will also be attending. We are currently sectioning out the park for each of the booths and creating a program and schedule for that event. We're also going to have a dunking booth.
You are.
Yes, and so there will be a sign-up sheet for that. There should be a link in the slide for council members and other officials that would like to sign up. There will be 30-minute increments for each time. Yes.
Put my name at the top. I'll go first, and any council person that wants to join me
Yes.
can also go.
We have already confirmed that Mr. Ripley, our new high school principal,
Oh, that's
next year
perfect.
will be,
Yes.
signed up for the dunking booth.
Yes.
So we're very excited about that.
Just want to do a recap about our previous project that we just finished wrapping up, which was Blackhawk Trail. We had a fantastic day on April 16th where we had a bunch of volunteers come out to help build benches and clear a little bit of the area so we can place them. It was a fantastic day. As you can see, that we have a picture of one of the spots where we set a bench and about within 30 minutes, mother and daughter were already using it, and it was just fantastic. I wanted to thank Mayor Wansley, Mr. Lowe, the Jennings family, and the Turner family, and a bunch of Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, as we could not have pulled this off without their help. And it was kind of chaotic, but we truly came together and made everything happen. So I want to thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So tasks that will still need to be completed. We plan on having the aviation and horticulture group come out and identify plants and animals along the trail, more signage for the trail as well. And then we would like to have a sign for the clean drinkable water by the stream. We've also put a bench right beside there, so. Alright, this is our expenditures list. All of the expenses that we plan on having for the spring fair. Our donkey booth, YCC t-shirts, all of the wood and hardware for the benches from the Blackhawk Trail, and then the sand for the memorial. I do have a question how the sand is supposed to be purchased. I don't know how that's, if it happened in bags or separate out in bell sand.
We can work that out.
Yeah, so, but yeah, and invoices are all sent to Ms. Black, so we'll have all the invoices for that.
Nice.
That's about it.
They appreciate invoices.
Yes. These are the photos from the Blackhawk Trail, and a bunch of people come out and work on it, so.
You may see a few familiar faces in there. But just fantastic photos, like you can see in a few pictures, just a bunch of volunteers helping out, and we're able to build benches, set up a map trail, and along with setting chicken wire on little bike ramps to provide more grip for rainy weather. And just overall, it was a fantastic day that everyone came out, has delicious food. Thank you to Mr. Jennings, and so just fantastic, and could have asked to have it every day.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Well done. Yeah, those Republic Service hot dogs are not small. So, yeah, thank you again, Youth Community Council. I think there were 4 different Boy Scout troops that were out there. Yeah, Mr. Jennings, of course, out there cooking it up. It's great when he's not there. We always have we have a few smokers or cooking trucks that come out. I feel like we have great redundancy. We're always well served with homemade barbecue and stuff. So that's great. Councilman Love.
Chris Jennings can always come anytime he wants to because, dadgum, the food was incredible. I'm just so dadgum proud of the youth council, especially that little blonde-headed lady back there. And I tell you what, if I had an army, I'd love for you to be on my army team. You are one tough lady, let me tell you. But it's just a joy to work with all you people, young people, and it just makes me so dadgum proud, Really, I think the mayor said one time that, you know, we hear a lot about some of the negativity about our youth. Well, I couldn't be more proud, you know, to work with a bunch of good young people, and it just inspires me as a 67-year-old person. But anyway, Chris, keep bringing the food, brother.
You got to Councilman Lowe's heart by bringing some
Oh,
crawfish.
God.
Crawfish infused links, I think.
Fun day.
All right, anything else on this item? If not, we need an action on this, correct?
Yeah, Mayor and Council, so you've set a line item in our budget for the Youth Community Council, but when we set up the Youth Community Council, you all asked that they come and present those items and get your approval for their expenditures. So that list of expenses that we need to get approved is in front of you. So we would ask that you make a motion to approve those.
I'll make a motion to approve the expense report presented to us by the Youth Community Council.
I'll second.
All right, motion by Councilwoman Harris, second by Councilman Briscoe. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Say no. All right, with that, the motion carries. Thank you again. All right, that takes us down to item H3, which is discuss, consider, and act upon the scope of work for Parks and Recreation Trails Master Plan. Mrs. Black.
Mayor and Council, if you all remember a couple of weeks ago, we brought forth the qualifications submitted for the Parks, Recreation, and Trails Master Plan. You all directed staff to work with HAF at that time. I've met with HAF. They have provided the scope of work that was in your packet for tonight, and staff does recommend approval.
Yeah, any questions on that scope of work? Anything to point out or anything of note to council? Yeah.
No questions for me. I'm excited to get it going.
Yeah.
Yep.
Me too.
Let's get it going with a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the scope of work for the Parks, Recreation, and Trails Master Plan.
Second.
Give it to him. He was so daggum excited about the last one.
Got a motion. Councilman Briscoe with the motion, Councilman Lowe with the second. Any further discussion? Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. With that, the motion carries. All right, that's item H4, discuss, consider, and act to allocate funds for fencing around the gun range. That $500 doesn't count. Something else? Mrs. Black.
Mayor and Council, if you all remember, the Parks and Recreation Foundation is working to get the next phase of the Blackhawk Creek Hike and Bike Trail put in, and they're doing a portion of that next phase now, pending the outcome of this action item. As you all know, we have a gun range out at the Blackhawk Creek wastewater treatment facility, and right now it is not fenced. With the anticipated increase in pedestrian traffic on that trail, we feel very strongly that it needs fencing around that gun range. We have received one quote. We are still waiting on two others, but given how long it's taking, we wanted to go ahead and move forward. We feel like the quote that we have is competitive, and any other quotes will be close to that price range. But in the interest of time and kind of getting this moving forward, we are gonna ask that you go ahead and approve a not to exceed amount, I believe of $41,000 for that fencing. It will be, I believe, chain link fencing with 3-row barbed wire on the top with privacy slats along the front of the fence that faces the road going into the wastewater treatment plant. And it'll be about 50 feet outside of that berm for the gun range.
How tall? 8?
6 or 8. Let me look.
It doesn't.
Probably 8. It's got the
I think
barbed
it's-
wire.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be 2 feet on top, probably.
I was thinking it was gonna be 8.
8.
Gotcha.
And just a question from somebody that uses the trail all the time. How tall is the berm around that?
What's part of
As far as the dirt berm?
It's
45
dug
feet
down into the.
Into the ground, I've never.
Yeah,
I think it's 40.
Super cool.
It's probably 40 feet. It's super tall. Yeah, somewhere between that.
You're basically in a, like, wedge.
Yeah, so it's more for keeping people from wandering onto the property because
Right.
it's just open. Like the whole thing is open, so it's probably something that's been needed for.
How old is that range?
Yeah, I would think so.
I don't know when it was created, but I'm believing that I'll probably be within a year or so. But but I think they built that somewhere around 12, 13 years ago.
I mean, the FBI uses it, a lot of law enforcement agencies.
Every law enforcement agency around, whether it's federal, almost ever.
Sure.
Law enforcement agency around to include, your federal agencies and your state agencies. Tyler PD uses it when they're busy, but everybody utilizes it.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna make a motion.
All right, I have a motion from Councilwoman Harris. No, sorry, state the motion.
I would like to make a motion to approve, to allocate not to exceed $41,000 for fencing around the gun range.
Second.
Motion from Councilwoman Harris, a second from Councilman Briscoe. Will there be any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. With that, the motion carries, and we're on to item H5, consider future agenda items. We may select them, or that's gonna happen
That'll
in May?
happen in May.
Okay,
Probably the second meeting in May.
Clarify.
gotcha.
Yeah, that is out for bid right now, and so the due date for that is May 4th. So if we can turn them around by your first May meeting, we'll have them then, but it'll probably be the second meeting in May that we ask you all to consider choosing a construction manager at risk for the project at 109 East Main. We have already started at the staff level looking at budget needs for the upcoming fiscal year, so we will start seeing some of that in May as well.
Yep, our budget season is longer than the baseball season.
Yeah.
All right, anything else from council to add for future agenda items? All right, that takes us down to item I, administrative reports. We have a couple of reports, starting with the March report. Any feedback on that? We have our smart sheet, it's full of graphs and pictures. Beautiful executive level reports here. It's not legal to sell stock for a city, but if we could, we should, because it'd be going up. Good stuff. All the graphs are like,
Yep.
that way.
Councilmember Lowe, because I know you are particularly interested in our sales tax revenue, we are almost double what we collected in April of 2020.
Unbelievable. And that just shows a lot of people are shopping at home here, you know. If you build it, they will come, so.
Yeah, water revenues looking steady.
Your franchise fees for March were up
Yeah.
compared to March of all the other years. Is it helping the review we're having done, or just a?
Not yet. This is, as you can see, when we
Yeah.
receive franchise payments, just kind of varies, and so it could be anything from, it just so happened that one of the larger ones paid in March, and
It's
they
up and
normally
down.
pay, and, you know, they could have paid in April.
Okay.
There's no
So,
rhyme or reason to franchise fees.
Miss Leslie, there's no information yet or no on the franchise investigation or the,
No, sir. Like they said when they came,
It's gonna
it would
take
be-
time.
It would be probably 9 months before we saw anything
Okay.
coming out of that.
that's gonna be real interesting, I think.
Yep. We had the citywide garage sale, right?
Mm-hmm.
What else Beautiful did?
Yeah.
They're not required to get individual permits for that.
Yeah, that'll
so-
just be that
so-
one permit, so we might have hit a dip in some garage sale permits that month, but well worth it, that's a great exercise. There you go, fire response times, look at that, dip down into the 3s every once in a while, that's
Yep.
pretty good. All right, anything stand out, council, any questions or issues you wanna bring up?
Vehicle registrations are up. And it's so nice to have the city to do that, you know, for everybody.
Yeah, you don't have to go to Tyler?
No, it just makes it easy peasy, you know, so.
All right. And we cleaned up a lot of collections in January, didn't we?
Yeah, I saw that. Looks like, I mean, every month this year. we did one month.
Man, that just seems like a lot of open records requests, like almost 30, like one a day almost. Golly.
It is amazing.
Yeah, it's kind of a time-consuming thing.
Yep.
All right. All right, well, we have our financial statement as well. If there's anything to bring up on that from council. Income statement from March. And if not, then I will move on. All right, that'll take us down to J, executive session, for which we have nothing, so we don't need to reconvene in K. That leaves us to L. Is there any further business to discuss? Now I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a
I'm daggone excited about this. I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Timing,
I'll second.
timing was overruled by adjournment. Chambers with the first. Let's go with the second. With that,
I'm confused.
what did we have? Did I miss an item?
See? Oh, no. It's getting hostile over here.
Okay.
Oh, no, we're good.
The time is 6:34. This meeting is adjourned.
That was violent. I thought you were going to tell me something we forgot. I was like, what?
No, I was checking to make sure you were.
Nothing like
No!
ending.
Go. And then we kinda got